That's right, folks. Today is pond stocking day. It has been a long time coming. I actually teased this in a video like a month ago where we electroshocked my backyard fish pond, and we learned a lot about the pond that day. Oh my God, it's so hot. Let's walk back over here to the shade. Guys, I'm not even kidding you. Today is like one of the hottest days of the year. There's like this heat wave going on in the south. The feels like temp right now, what was it, 105?
105.
Yeah, that's crazy, just to even say that out loud. So it's super hot today. Hopefully it's not gonna affect our pond stocking efforts. On the highway right now is a gigantic truck filled with fish specifically to feed my backyard pond bass. One of the things we noticed the most during that electroshocking video is just how skinny and overly bass crowded the pond is, which we kind of already knew. So we have literally thousands of fish coming. Any second they're gonna be here, but before that, I had not fished the backyard pond in a long time. I'm gonna put a little rod in my hand real quick, see if we can catch a few bass just to kind of show you guys, or just to see what they look like these days compared to how they looked a month ago. I don't know about you folks, but summertime fishing is normally a grind for me. So you can either A, downsize your presentation, like this guy right here, basically like a crappie or a sunfish setup, but could do that, or you could go with the old Mr. Stickbait right there, which has been helping anglers catch fish in the worst conditions since the history of bass fishing began. All right, let's hit a couple of our pieces of structure that we know we got out here. This slow falling weightless lunker log. It's got to be weightless for me in the summertime because that just allows it to have that little death wobble as it just slowly falls. It's just hard for a fish to resist. Such a slow moving presentation. I think we feel pretty confident. If we walk over there to where that creek feeds in,
oh yeah,
that spring fed creek right over there, I feel like, you know, this hot of weather, the water temp's got to be approaching 90 degrees, at least surface wise. But the coolest water in the pond is going to be at the deepest point, which is maybe like right out here, and then definitely where that spring comes in. Let's see, got some more brush right here. That log seems to always be holding something. Did it just get bit? Oh my God. The line like got tight all of a sudden. Oh man, it's running now. Oh yeah. Oh man, I had something. You see my line running?
I did.
I just got the words out of my mouth. Like, this log is pretty much always holds a fish. Okay, that's a good sign. There's another piece of brush over here, kind of like that way. Oh, I'm eight. Got him right off that brush pile. No, I pulled it out of his mouth. Dang it. Look at this. Pickpocketed me.
Wow.
That's 2 bites really fast. I was not expecting that, as hot as it is. That's bite number 2 already. The pond doesn't seem to be doing that bad, but we gotta catch one of these. That one looked pretty small. That would have been a good example of why we're adding a ton of bait fish today. That was a pretty small fish. See if we can find a little bit of a healthier one than that. Those 2 bites that we just got are so telling, like with bass behavior, because I was literally targeting, like, there's only a few pieces of structure in this little pond, you know, like hard pieces of structure. There's like the man-made ones that we put in, and there's like a couple natural logs. Both of those bites came directly off of cover that we know is there. That just shows you, man, a largemouth, they just don't spend a lot of time out in the open. You know, they want to be near something, under something. You see what the flooding did to the boat ramp?
Yeah.
It almost looks a little bit better now that everything's settled, but you have to fill this in. And then like out here though, like all this was like in the water right here, you know what I mean? This is all just sediment that got pushed and formed, but then it like drops way off right there. So like our gradual decline, this is probably just all of that, just getting pushed down here. You know, it could be easily fixed with like an excavator, like an hour or 2 of work, or just a bunch of dudes with shovels if you want to do it the hard way. Now the dock boat's a good piece of structure. There's always been fish kind of relating to that thing. Dude, there's even shade back there in that creek, so you know there's probably 5 to 10 bass back there right now. All right, here we go. Oh, dude, the peninsula is not that bad at all.
Like it's gotten bigger?
It does look like it's gotten wider.
Yeah.
Dang, this is like an optical illusion. I don't know why. You think it could rain so much that it just like just took like a whole layer off of the ground?
Carved it.
Is that even possible?
It did, like 100% looks wider.
Yeah, it looks way wider. You guys at home, let me know. You've seen this pond a million times, but this right here, this is the money zone. The Spring Creek flows in right there, that little gate is. Actually, bass get up in that creek. We've seen that a million times. Okay, well, I don't believe the fact that there's no fish here. So let's try the downsize presentation, see what the difference is. Oh, that's in a tree. Dude, this peninsula is wider. Or maybe if it's not wider, but maybe what has happened is this top part is not as like up as it used. Like it's just been flattened.
Maybe.
It's been flattened down to the original width. It's crazy.
It's weird, dude.
Come here. No! Why am I losing all these fish, dude? Did you see that bite?
Yeah, it bit kind of weird, didn't it?
Well, I was like reeling the lunker log in, and I stopped it right in front of me out there because I thought maybe there would be something, and it got eaten immediately, and I kind of hesitated on the hook set. They could be nibbling at it. They could definitely be nibbling at it, but that is the third bite. It's a great sign to see how willing to feed these fish are, so that's good. They're willing to eat, they're active, they're even eating lures. The problem is their overall size has been what's kind of disappointing, and their growth. And hopefully we can rectify that today. We're gonna fish a little bit longer. That truck should be here any minute, and when it is, we gotta be ready for them, escort them down here, tell you guys what fish that we have, because we have thousands of new fish for the pond. Really wanna catch one first though. Got that one. God, that feels good. Jeez. That's a decent one. Come here, buddy. Don't you run that way. Look at him dig. Look at him dig. Ah! There we go.
Got one, dude.
Dude, now you know what's crazy? That's probably bigger than anything we shocked up today. Or just about as big.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like a 2-pounder. Now he actually doesn't look that unhealthy. So that's probably what the average size these days, or maybe even on the high side of the average. Let me get this guy unhooked real quick and get him a sip of water. Nice fish. This is actually one of the healthier fish we've seen out of the pond in a long time as far as girth. Dude, my guy is feisty.
He'll be fine.
I'm gonna go ahead and let him go. All right, folks, just spoke to the driver of the truck. They're almost here. It's time to feed these fish. We've done some fishing. We know they're ready to eat. There's tons of them ready to eat. They need to eat. They need more food. It's time to open up the buffet. We're about to serve up our bass friends a meal and a half. So in this beautiful truck right here, in this big old cooler, lies our fish. There they are, folks, right there. Inside that truck lies over 3,000 bait fish, okay? So we decided to go ahead and order 2,000 copper-nosed bluegill. Now these are the best breed of bluegill. They reproduce multiple times throughout the year. They're that perfect bass eating size already, but just the fact that they're aggressive spawners, that's why I chose that specific fish to stock as the main bait forage. I also went ahead and ordered 1,000 red ear sunfish. Now they don't spawn quite as aggressively, but I just wanted to have those in this pond because I love red ears ever since I caught that gigantic 3.7 pound red ear sunfish out in Lake Havasu a couple years ago. I had ordered about 10,000 minnows originally, but I kind of got talked out of that because they don't do well in extreme heat, first of all, and this is the literal definition of extreme heat. And also, they don't do much as far as growing the fish. Now, they might feed them, obviously, for a while and keep the smaller bass occupied, but as it was explained to me, that might not be our best option. You guys have never seen these trucks before. They're super cool. So obviously, you got the cooler part right there. That's where the fish are. There's a constant aeration in there and water filtration. They take these gigantic pipes and they attach them to the different chambers along the edge of the truck right there. And they basically just like shoot the fish out into the pond. And when I say shoot them, I mean it literally shoots them. You checking the water temp to acclimate them?
Yeah, too big a difference of the shot.
What reading did you get out of the pond?
92.
92?
That's hot, dude.
Holy moly.
That's incredible.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
That's insane.
I would have said like 88, 89 on the high side. That is bath water. So yeah, they have to check the water temperature in the pond first to make sure there's not too big of a difference between the water that's in there as it's in here, because that could definitely kill the fish just by shocking them. Also went ahead and ordered some fertilizer for the pond. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Can I hop up there, boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what the inside of this looks like. Oh yeah. How many gallons is this tank right here, this whole thing?
I think they're 100-gallon tanks.
Okay, so
That's
300
what you get
gallons.
right there.
Okay, yeah, so let me grab one of these. All right, so that right there, is that a shell cracker or is that a blue? That's a shell cracker, right? It's just one size. The sizes kind of vary. There's some smaller than that, there's some bigger. But that right there, I mean, that's bass candy. That's the stuff they love. Oh, is that the first batch? Let's see how many we see coming out. Oh, there they go. There they go. Just hundreds of fish just being shot into the pond. Look at them all go. Hey, in just a minute, folks, we're gonna start seeing topwater blowups all over the pond because these fish, they get in there, they don't really know what's going on, and all the bass and predatory fish just start working their way to this side of the pond. It's crazy. Oh, gotta get the rest of them out. Got some stragglers. How many fish do you think we just sent in there at one time right there, my man?
Probably 1,000.
That's probably 1,000 right there. Oh. There's 1,000 in each tank. That was only 1,000 of our new fish. All right, hole number 2. I might get down there in the water a little bit. I want to kind of see. Oh my gosh, I can see so many of them along the bank. They're just kind of swimming along the bank. I want to see how many is like in this pipe actually coming out. Should put my face right there. Get my face blown off. Oh, shoot. There they go. Oh, I want to catch one. Oh. Look how pretty that thing is. That's the pretty bluegill that I was expecting right there. Look at that thing. Look at that guy. Thousands of them. Thousands. That one also spined me because they're coming out like 100 miles an hour. That's so crazy. Look at that. Here come the fishies. Oh, here they come. Oh, got another one. Hey, buddy. Welcome to your new home. You might not like it too much. This is such a cool process, guys. I don't know why I love it so much. Hello. That's 2,000. I bet you if we just continue to walk around the bank all day, we'd just be able to see all of them just kind of acclimating and figuring out where they are. I mean, right here, there's a few dozen bait fish right here just kind of congregating, trying to figure it out. So we ordered a total of 3,000 fish this time. That was 2,000. We've got 1,000 left. Some of those were pretty big, man. I saw some of them coming out were like, I mean, I was trying to catch one of those big ones. There they go. Look at all of them. Holy moly. That's so sick. You can see all the colors and just all the bodies just flooding the pond. Oh, look at that. That's so sick, man. There's just something about pulling up to a pond with thousands of fish and just shooting them out of a giant shotgun barrel via water.
Pretty cool.
There's something about that that just feels really good for a man. Gotta make sure we get them all. Dude, this water, it's so hot, I can't even like describe it. Like my knees are hot in the water.
That's so great.
It feels like I just stepped into a slightly cooler hot tub. We get them all?
Yes, sir, that's all of them.
All right, fantastic. I'm waiting to see the first topwater boil, you know?
Oh yeah, it's coming.
It always happens. We've done this a couple different times for this pond with different types of bait fish, but you guys will see, hopefully we can capture some on camera, but they'll just start happening all over the pond, especially right over here. And just like that, the fish are fed for a while. The real hope is all of these bluegills and red ear sunfish, there's so many of them and they're such aggressive spawners that we just over flood the pond with them. And that way, even if they're getting pounded and eaten all the time, they're having babies so quick that we can keep this pond stocked for a long time to come. All right, now it's time to spread some fertilizer in this beautiful pond. Get off me, bee. I think the old dock boat's up for the challenge. Come here, fertilizer. Ooh, it's blue or green. I didn't really expect that. All right, bon voyage. This goes down as probably one of the best things I ever built because it's still together. Just gonna drop her on in there. Oh, there we go. That might work. This is gonna be a little tough to maneuver on this tiny boat, but we'll get her done. Let's get an update on the feels like real quick, just so we're aware. What's your guess on the feels like temp right now?
It feels hotter than when it was 105, so I'm going 107.
109. Guys, look, 109. By far the hottest day of the year right here. So we're just gonna use the old trolling motor to kind of help us churn this stuff up. I'm just gonna go around the pond and slowly dump in some fertilizer. The old trolling motor is just gonna mix it up for us. Oh, I just hit something. Oh, shoot, just hit a fish hotel. We don't have a huge pond here, so one bag is actually enough, believe it or not. The reason why we do this, folks, this pond in particular is a spring-fed pond. And what that means is, if there's not a lot of rain, the spring is gonna flow in always, and then there's a overflow pipe where water gets washed out. So because of that, that's like its own filtration system. And therefore, the water itself becomes very clear, hence like a spring. Spring water is always really clean. Thing is, you don't want that in a pond like this, and let me tell you why. The sunlight can penetrate clean water a lot easier than it can stained water. And so that sunlight reaches vegetation, certain vegetation that doesn't really need that much sunlight. And what you get as a result of that is overgrown vegetation, which can lead to a bunch of other problems. You know, you want some vegetation, not too much. It's the same thing with water visibility. You want some visibility, but you don't want it to be crystal clear. So this is gonna take care of that little problem for us. I'm just gonna go around the edge here and just kind of try to distribute it as equally as I can. A little bit goes a long way. We saw just how clean this pond can get a few months ago when we were kind of in the middle of a little bit of a drought. It hadn't rained for a long time, and it was like super clear. We're talking like multiple feet of visibility. And it turns out, not necessarily a good thing. I believe it also helps with the thermocline, like the temperature down low. It's got to stay a little bit cooler if the sunlight can't penetrate as deep into it. Could be a little wrong about that. Somebody correct me in the comment section if I'm off a little bit on that one, but heck, there might even be other reasons why people put fertilizer in that I'm completely missing. So as always, you folks that know more than me, get in that comment section, and I appreciate hearing from you guys. I really do. And I learn a lot every time I go diving into the comment section. I'd like to know, you folks, while you're in the comment section, dropping some knowledge on us, explain why this fertilizer is this color. Really interested. Oh yeah, the power is currently off at my house right now too, so the wife is just really happy with me right now. That's what happens when you forget to pay the bill. On another note, I'm seeing a ton of these bait fish just all along the edge as I troll around. I've been seeing hundreds of them just kind of relating, very shallow, probably still trying to acclimate. I mean, there's just, the bank's covered with them, which is such a great sign. Because believe it or not, that's how this pond was when I first purchased this property in this house. There was hundreds of brim and bluegill and other bait fish all around the edges all the time. You know, it was so common to come down here with a cast net, throw it in, and get just dozens of really good bait fish. We did it all the time. But you know, between the otter and the bass just being super hungry, it's something that we have to stay on top of a little bit more now. It's a little stinky, that's for sure. Yeah, I definitely believe that it's fertilizer. Just make sure to get a good coat on the old hands, you know? Helps your immune system. Helps you fight off disease or something. See, the dock boat's been paying for itself since 2020, bro.
That's a fact.
She gets the job done. All right, folks, we got the fertilizer in, got the pond stocked. Me and Andrew have been sitting here for a while. We really haven't seen any topwater blowups. I think that just goes to demonstrate how hot it is and how hot that water is, and how the bass's behavior changes when it's that hot. You know, they're just not gonna come up to the top. We think maybe some of these fish are getting eaten right now, but they're probably getting eaten down where the fish are, you know. And if you remember back to when we fished earlier in this video, all the bites that I got were off of direct structure. There was none that were just out cruising. So I think the bass are probably hunkered down in that deeper water, down low in the thermocline, but they're just waiting for stuff to come to them right now. It's just so hot. It's midday too. It's like 2:45, hottest part of the day. But that's okay though, because now we know the bait's in there, the pond is adequately stocked. We finally did the fertilizer. That's the first time we've ever done the fertilizer ourselves in the pond. I want to see what kind of effect that has going into the fall and winter. We're also going to continue to stock this pond with big bass if we come across them in public water. In Alabama, it's legal to relocate fish from public to private, so we're going to continue on that effort. But hope you guys enjoyed this stocking video. Hit the thumbs up button if you did. I know a lot of you guys were waiting a long time, but It turns out when it's super hot like this, the fish farm industry, I guess they take a little bit of a beating. Shout out to Davis Fish Farms, the people that stocked the pond. They got here and they were super quick. My man was just shooting those fish in there. Man, it was a whole lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you next time.